Hey YouTube, this is the Angry Gun Nerd here. I'm decided to make a video because it's been a long time since I've made any videos here for you guys. Today I'm just going to go over what I've got in my shooting bag. This shooting bag here is made by Alan, and my mom actually got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago. And she purchased it at Walmart, and it was pretty cheap. I bet you it was under like 30 bucks. But, got this opening here. See a couple guns in there, good things to have. And I've got pockets on each side. And then in the middle, these right here actually came with two of these. And it's really great because you can just open it up and put that out while you're shooting so your guns don't get scratched up. Also, it's a great way to store your guns while you're traveling. Anyway, I usually put a couple targets down on the bottom, as you can see. Got a Beretta in there. Also have a Davis 22. So, I'm going to show you guys what I keep in my range bag. So, this is what we got. These are target corners, and when I go to the NRA headquarters range, usually there are a lot of people that shoot the large shoot-and-see targets, and these are the corners. So they usually just shoot the big one and throw out the corners. Well, I know it's kind of cheap of me, but I'm a cheap person. I go around to the trash, and I take them, and I cut the corners, and then I use all these little dots as targets for my 22s when I'm shooting distance. The NRA range is 150 feet indoors, and I like to put these out there, they're pretty small, and shoot them with my 22s. So, that's fun. So I always have a bunch of those that I've retrieved. And then also I have a lot of stuff in plastic bags, keeps things easy. See a bunch more of those. Also, bore snakes are good. You know, if you ever have like a really leaded up barrel at the range or something, just pull a bore snake through it real quick. I don't consider these a complete replacement for cleaning properly, but they are great to have while you're on the firing line if you start to experience problems, especially with a rimfire. And then here is a multi-tool that came with my GSG5. See, I even wrote GSG5 on it. So, also, I've got a pocket knife in here, and I've got some Q-tips and a broken shell extractor for 7.62x3.9, which I've never used. It's still in the package. And what else? That's it for that bag. Okay, so that goes in my range bag. Now for this one, I have an Allen wrench set, which is great for taking apart things like Ruger buck marks and when I say Ruger buck marks, Browning buck marks, and other guns that require Allen keys to take them apart. And I've got some more in here. I've got some Loctite. I've got some paper clips from shooting outside. Paper clips, you know what I mean. Anyway, some hearing protection and some patches. So, with that, I also have some other hearing protection. I've got two sets in here because there's always somebody that goes to the range that doesn't happen to have hearing protection. So, it's good to have that for them. Into the bag. Gotta have a pen when you're on the range because you want to be able to write on those targets and say what you were shooting, how far you were shooting, who was shooting, the date, all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're with some friends, they're going to want to keep their targets afterwards. I have a few friends with guns, but a lot of my friends don't have guns, and when they go out shooting, they want to keep their targets. So the pens are good. This is actually from a pet store where my friends work. In the bag. Monster Swiss Army knife. This is pretty cool because it has a very small pair of pliers. So these are good for getting out those stuck 22 shell casings and doing other stuff. So it's also got a set of screwdrivers here with different tips that come out, so that's cool. So several birds, one stone by just carrying this around. It's got a couple blades, all the other good stuff. So this is what I used to carry before I got my my nice Swiss Army knife, but just, you know, little multi-tools and a bunch of little junk in there. Another thing I like to have on the firing line is a hammer. This is a lightweight hammer, and it's got, I guess, brass or bronze on one end, and it's got some kind of a packed rawhide on the other end so it doesn't mar the finish. You can see it's been kind of messed up here. But this is very cheap. I bought this at an estate sale for $5, and I've seen them at gun shows for like $7. So anyway, good to have. So if you need to beat on something on the firing line, you want to make sure you use the proper tool. Now, more bore snakes. I've got bore snakes for 28, 30. You know, I've got 9mm, I've got 22, I've got a bunch of stuff. So anyway, also I have a sight tool for the AK/SKS, and more Q-tips. Got to have those. Lots of those when I'm cleaning. And also tongue depressor and, you know, little bags of junk in them, just extra parts, extra tools. And also, this right here is rig oil. This is some of my favorite stuff I like to use. I couldn't find it for a long time. I think it was out of production. Now it's being made by Birchwood Casey, and I like it because it comes in a little jar. So you can have hard grease, but it's not going to be in a toothpaste tube that's going to squeeze all over all your junk. It's in a little tub like this, which is cool. So, also, I like to keep this with me because oftentimes I do cleaning right after shooting, and it's not always at my house. Sometimes I go to my friend's place and we clean over there, so I like to have all my cleaning materials with me. So this is just a little 22 brush that I got for a couple bucks at a gun show, and these are great. Get yourself a couple of these. You can usually get these at the gun shows for $1, maybe $2 each, but a lot more stout than your usual brush that you'd use, like, a toothbrush. And then this end is great. So what I like to do with this end, because it's got really, really tight, stiff fibers, is I'll take a piece of a patch and I'll roll the patch around it and then use that to get into some areas so that I get the patch dirty instead of getting all my bristles dirty. And last, something that's very good to have in case you got to do a little work on somebody's gun when you're over at somebody's house, something like that, is a cheap set of punches. I've got these at Home Depot for $10. And it's, the important sizes, 1/16, 3/32, and 1/8. So, oh, look at that. Made in USA. Can you believe that? For $10? Yeah, I bought it. So, I kept this in the package because it's just nice to keep all three together. And I just pop open the pack and get them when I need to. So, folks, I also have Break-Free CLP. I know some people use different kinds of stuff for cleaning and lubrication, but I've just found this is a decent all-around product and pretty good for keeping off rust. Better for keeping off rust than other products I found. Also, this Winchester branded CLP is rather inexpensive, sold at Walmart. It's under $4 a can in my area. So the cap comes off sometimes and sprays my entire bag with Break-Free. I got tired of that, so masking tape it is. And that is everything I usually keep in my shooting bag. And I hope you enjoyed my video and got some ideas for what to keep in your bag. Alright, have a good day.